loves, welcome to another episode of Coffee Chats, a series of alternative perspectives. Before we dive into today's episode, let me take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for your contributions in the comment section last week. For this final episode, I've actually selected 3 comments, and here they are. This comment comes from Jerry Nyack 3143, who says, "Arrogance equates to lack of self-confidence, and so we have to put others down to elevate ourselves. Sad." Absolutely agree. It is really sad that people do this. This comment comes from First Ebony Queen, who says, "I remember a situation at my office, some decades ago mind you. On many occasions when the supervisors were out or gone to meetings, I was always left in charge. On this particular day, my co-worker was having extreme problems with one of the customers and asked me to help her out, since he was demanding to see the supervisor, aka me. After thoroughly examining his documents, I explained to him why the lady had suggested that this had to be done, etc. When I asked if he had any questions, which I knew he didn't because I was thorough, he did his complete resume of his educational background loudly for all to hear. And I smiled and told him, 'Well, sir, the world is full of educated fools. Do you have any questions for me?' The people in the line and my co-workers all broke out laughing, and he ran out of there. Everyone has value. We need each other in one form or another, and the sooner man remembers humanity, the quicker we can rid ourselves of status quo." It's so true. What a great story. So funny. And this final comment comes from Oracle09. "Great coffee chat. I always learn something from your podcasts." Oh, thank you so much. I knew the meaning of arrogance and self-confidence, but you bring it home by showing us examples. Yes, I believe that arrogant people are entitled and insecure people. Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And just thank you to every single one of you once again for all of your contributions. You don't know how much it all means. Next, what's your beverage of choice today? So for my final drink with you today, I actually picked up a Greggs hot chocolate. Now, if you're from the UK, you'll know exactly what Greggs is. With my car insurance that I renewed last November, part of my rewards was that I get a free hot beverage from Greggs every month. And this is what I've chosen today. Lovely. Don't forget to use the comment section to let me know what you're drinking while you watch this episode. Earlier this week, Meghan gave her first podcast interview with her friend Jamie Kern Lima, who is the CEO of It Cosmetics.
So I want to ask you this question because your trust is such a sacred thing. Anybody's trust is a sacred thing. So why did you say yes to doing this show?
Because it's you. And to me, that means, of course, I trust you.
Yeah.
But because I think you feel really confident that it was divinely ordered. Maybe all of this, our friendship, you becoming our neighbor, the depth of our friendship, and then these opportunities that we both have to be able to uplift each other and celebrate the work that we're doing. But to have never done a podcast, I mean, and then to say, great, let's do it. Like, literally, let's let people who are watching this feel like they're just sitting with us as at your house as we would do. We'd be like, great, we've done drop off. Okay, the day is done. The kids are in the bath. Can we just carve out time and sit and relax? And I liked the idea of being able to be so authentically myself with someone who knows me in such a deep and profound way. And I think that's where you can meet people on a really, really pure, connected level. When you were saying, like, do you want to just do like cozies and no makeup? I like the idea of like, okay, great. Let's let them see us. See
Yeah.
our friendship, see us, see what it's really like.
It was really great to see Meghan so relaxed and free to speak candidly in this interview. Now, we already know that the media has a PhD in MFEM, the microscopically forensic examination of Meghan. But I shook my head even more than usual when I heard this.
Agreed with Buckingham Palace to stop using the titles when they step down from royal duties. But a monogrammed card with the words HRH, the Duchess of Sussex, has been spotted in a recent podcast interview that Meghan did. Well, Ellie Pitt is here with more on this. It's causing a right row, isn't it? Why?
Because, Mary, I think the heart of this is a question about what was agreed between the late Queen and Harry and Meghan when they decided to leave their lives in the UK as working royals and move to California in America under what became known as Megxit. So this has all come about because Meghan was on a podcast with her friend and a makeup brand boss, Jamie Kern Lima, in which the pair were discussing a gift basket that Meghan had sent Jamie when she was going through a difficult time in her life. This is what was said.
All of a sudden I get word that, you dropped off this gift basket with ice creams, homemade strawberry sauce to put on top of the ice cream, just to see if that helps lighten my load.
So it was that picture with the card that had HRH, Her Royal Highness, written on it that's caused this controversy, because at the time when they decided to leave, Prince Harry and Meghan, a statement from Buckingham Palace said, the Sussexes will not use their HRH titles as they are no longer working members of the royal family. And that was to take place from spring 2020. But sources close to Meghan have told us that the agreement was they would retain their HRH titles but not use them for commercial purposes, and that this gift basket with the jam and ice creams was a personal gift. And Jamie said that it was from more than a year ago. The question perhaps, though, is after reading that what appears to be categorical statement from Buckingham Palace at the time, should she be using the HRH title at all?
Meghan is not a stupid person. What people seem to have a problem with is that Meghan used HRH at all. Now, if Harry's grandmother wanted to forbid them from using the title outright, she would have been very clear in her instructions. Isn't it strange, though, that the firm is quick to recall Queen Elizabeth's directive for the Sussexes when that directive is restrictive? But when Queen Elizabeth's provisions for Harry and Meghan's security arrangements are crystal clear and in their favour, the firm have no qualms in undermining and dismissing them. I'm not a contributor, but I occasionally dip into an online forum called Quora, and someone posted the following question: why should I live up to other people's expectations instead of my own? And someone else provided the following answer: attempting to live up to other people's expectations of me is the loss of self and the quickest, most effective path to frustration, unhappiness and despair. People's expectations of me come from who these people are, what they need, what they want, and have nothing to do with me, who I am, and what I want. As such, most of what they want from me takes me away from what I want for myself. To take it a step further, people's expectations of me successfully drown out what I want for myself. So I can't even know what that is until I quiet down all these voices I've been trying so desperately to keep up with. Let's talk about goalposts. Goalposts are shifted by people who feel the need to control you. Goalposts are shifted by people who implicitly demand that you meet their unreasonable expectations. If you decide not to shift yourself to the same rhythm as those goalposts, these same people become assassins. They assassinate your character and they assassinate your reputation, so that others treat you like you have an infectious disease. In previous episodes, you've heard me talk about being a people pleaser in my younger days, but there came a point when I was done. Some of you will have reached that point too. Thankfully, we're not the only ones.
When you talk about self-esteem and all the things that we try so hard to pour into our kids, and you look at the data right now, how 80% of women don't believe they're enough. Like, you look at all of the data
Yeah.
or feel unworthy, and it's such a journey. I've gone through such a journey in my own life of like, for the longest time, I thought, I just have to accomplish it, like more. I have to do more and win this and do that and do the thing. Then I'll feel enough. For you in your life, have you ever felt unworthy?
Oh my gosh, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's where the yet comes in.
The yet.
Right?
And what about now? Like, in your life now, do you ever feel unworthy?
Sometimes, not unworthy. Sometimes I feel very self-conscious. I don't know. I think I'm at a very different chapter. We've talked about this when you're out of the prove it game.
Yes.
The
Will you
prove it
share
game.
more?
I don't know. What were we texting about one night? You texted me something and I said, no, there comes a point where I don't even have that text. And you said, you have to email that text to yourself. You have to remember that. That should go in a book one day.
Yes.
But this idea that we spend so much of our life trying to prove something, to prove that you're enough. You have to prove that you're pretty enough. You have to prove that you're smart enough. You prove that you're a good wife or a good friend. And I was like, I am just so done with the prove it game. Yes. When you get to the place where you feel, I don't have to prove anything to you anymore. I don't have to prove that I'm a good person. I don't have to prove to you that I'm a good wife or mom or friend. I don't have to prove that I work hard. And it can be really freeing when you stop playing the prove it game. You're proving nothing to anyone other than to yourself. And that takes a lot of time and that takes a lot of pain, and at least for in my own experience. But to just really go, and not with an energy of like, I'm over it, I don't care. No, I care, but I don't have to prove it to you. And if you can't see it, I don't need to prove to you why that's your loss. Like, because I know that I'm a great friend, and I know the kind of mom I am, and I know the kind of human being I am, and I know how I show up. And I love being able to be that person with the people that I love. So, worthiness, maybe part of worthiness comes when you stop having to feel like you're in the prove it game.
Hallelujah. I am getting emotional right now because the number of girls and women who are going to watch this, who are going to just take those words, that when you text that to me one day, we're talking about something and you wrote all that about not being in the prove it game anymore. And I'm just like, this is so profound, and it's so simple, but so profound and so true. And I feel like when every one of us like actually just sees it from that perspective, like, I know I'm a good person. I know I'm a great friend. I know, all the things.
And you know you did your best.
I did my best. I'm doing my best as a mom.
Yeah.
Getting out of the prove it game, like,
yeah,
feels like joy, tastes like freedom.
All of the above.
All of the above.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful and so powerful. And I'm thinking about every person listening or watching right now who's going to rewind that part of the show and watch it over and over and over and let it take root, because it's a tool that you can lean on. Because how much time, I think about my own life, how much time I've wasted in the prove it game. Like, I want to make everyone happy, or I want to make sure that they know all the things. Yeah. And it's like that, that's so beautiful. And that's going to matter so much to so many people.
I was so, so, so happy to hear Meghan say that she's done. It's imperative that Meghan is done with living up to the unreasonable expectations of a sea of anonymous trolls. She needs to be done so that she's able to be fully mentally and emotionally available for her children. If you're a parent, I'm sure this will strongly resonate with you as it did with me.
You and I, in the rocking chairs,
yes,
have talked a lot about, like mother figures in our lives and our mothers and family. When Lily grows up, what are your hopes that she would share and say about her mother?
Oh, what a great question. I hope she says, I know that they'll feel like, oh my gosh, no one has ever loved someone more than the way our mom loved us. Um, and I put that in practice, that's part of every day how I show up for them. And I read a lot of parenting books. I really want to be good at it. I think a lot of stuff comes naturally, and a lot of stuff you can also we can all use tools. But one of our mom friends, she had said to me last year that she just created sort of secret email addresses for her kids that she'll give to them at some point in their life. And she would just send to them, random pictures, the pictures that you aren't going to put in a frame.
Yeah.
I thought it was such a great time capsule to create for them, because I used to have scrapbooks and photo albums, but we're past that generation now. And so I'd created for the kids these email addresses that sort of like names, again, that you would never guess, that I will give them at some point in their lives when they're older. But before I go to bed almost every night, I email them.
Wow.
I email, because it doesn't have to be a heavy lift, and you email them like, here's your report card from today, or oh my gosh, you said the funniest thing this morning, or here's a picture of you two having breakfast, or here's you playing with the dog. The things that you're not going to frame, the things that you're not going to put pen to paper in a journal, but they will end up at one point in their life, maybe when they're 16 or when they're 18, that I say, here's an email that I've been keeping for you.
I have full body chills right now.
For your whole life. And here's everything and every moment that I wanted to tell you how much I love you and like how proud I am of you. And of all things that's making me emotional. For them to be able to look back and go, oh my gosh, she has loved us so much. And that's, I think, the best part about being a mom. And we go back to like a love language or gifts. It's not about the grandeur of a gesture. It's about, I see you. I'm nurturing you, and I see you so deeply, and I love being able to see your growth, and I'm just so proud of them.
So beautiful.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that one. Yeah, they're just it's just so great. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on.
Right?
Thank you. It's the greatest gift you can give. That's the gift that will cost you nothing, and that will mean everything to your children. You can do it for your partner too. Yeah.
That is so beautiful.
No, you should do it for the kids.
Yeah, I'm having these like aha moments right now, thinking about doing that, and also about how many people are going to start doing that.
Yeah.
You have so many amazing big wins right now, things you've been working so hard on, and your husband just shared publicly for the first time. He said, I'm so happy for my wife and fully support absolutely everything she's done and continues to do.
When did he say that?
This week. It's everywhere in the press. Yeah, it's beautiful. But okay, so you don't know this. Okay, so you're hearing
No idea.
you're hearing this for the first time.
That's sweet.
I love that you're hearing this for the first time. He says, I'm so happy for my wife and fully supportive and support absolutely everything she's done and continues to do. How does that make you feel?
Oh, he's such a great partner. I feel that, right? I feel that every day in how supportive he's been and is. But I didn't know he said that. So that's really nice.
I have a letter.
He's also a fox, if you haven't noticed. My husband's very, very handsome. But his heart is even more beautiful.
I love that your eyes are sparkling right now.
Oh.
You
have a letter from him?
I have a letter from your husband and your kids.
Oh.
It's actually from them.
Was this in the press also?
Via
him.
him.
Did this?
Nope, no one's ever seen this before.
Okay.
And I would love to share it with you. And if you feel comfortable.
Is this from this morning?
Share it with all of us.
Oh. From Archie and Lily via Papa. We love your cooking. We love your pancakes. And we love, love, love your hugs. You're the best mummy, and we love you. So sweet. I also love that it's mummy, which is very British instead of mommy.
British.
Oh, yeah, they're the greatest.
And so it's kind of fun reading that to you about just how much he supports you and how proud he is.
Comparison doesn't live here. You will see this in the opening titles of some of my videos. It does not live here because I can't be anyone else but me. I actually like me, and I make no apology for that. And it's not my responsibility to regulate the emotions of people who may have a problem with me liking me. For my house guests, I sincerely hope you understand and you believe that you are good enough, that you don't have to prove anything to anyone, and that you accept yourself. Because if you don't accept yourself, how can you expect anyone else to accept you? As we're about to enter the 5th month of 2025, if anything has been stopping you from progressing, don't let that paralyze you anymore. Don't let the fear of other people's unsolicited opinions, particularly negative ones, prevent you from moving forward. If your motive is pure, you'll have more people for you than against you.
What do we think, Lily?
I think it's beautiful.
So as I wrap up this final episode, I want to thank you for meeting me for coffee over the last 12 weeks. I've loved the interaction we've had because it's helped me to get to know you a bit more. I look forward to reading your comments, and although there won't be an episode next week, I will note every single one of them, but I will give a special mention to you in a future video if you are one of my special house guests. If you saw my update video on Monday, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So guys, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for your company. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we shall catch up again very soon.